Mr. Bond, sir.
Mr. Bond.
Mr. Drax.
Allow me to present before they leave us Countess Lubinsky, Lady Victoria Devon, Mr. Bond.
How do you do?
Well, my dear fellow, your reputation precedes you, of course. I'm honored that your government should send you on so delicate a mission.
Delicate, Mr. Drax?
Well, to apologize in person for the loss of my space shuttle. How would Oscar Wilde have put it? To lose one aircraft may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose two seems like carelessness.
Well, an apology will be made to the American government, Mr. Drax, when we've discovered why there was no trace of the Moonraker in that wreckage.
Your loyalty commands respect, Mr. Bond. You have arrived at a propitious moment, coincident with your country's one indisputable contribution to Western civilization. Afternoon tea. May I press you to a cucumber sandwich?
Thank you, no, nothing at all. The shuttle, is it made entirely here in California?
No, I own a number of subsidiaries throughout the world producing components. The conquest of space represents an investment in the future of the entire human race, Mr. Bond. It is therefore logical to seek out the best that each nation has to offer.
Are you referring to people or skills?
Both, Mr. Bond.
Am I too soon?
Not at all. I'm sure Mr. Bond is eager to start his tour. Miss Dufour will escort you to Dr. Goodhead, who will show you round. Ask anything you like.
Thank you for being so cooperative.
A pleasure. Look after Mr. Bond. See that some harm comes to him.
Signor Christatos.
Ah. Christatos. Aris Christatos.
Bond, James Bond.
Would you care to join me in some Glühwein?
That's a very good idea, thank you.
Well, gentlemen, how can I help you?
We'd like some information.
My protege, a sure winner in the next Olympics. She's completely absorbed in her skating, but innocent in the ways of the world. The day she wins the gold medal will be the greatest in my life. Phoebe! Here are some new admirers for you. Mr. Bond, Mr. Ferrara, Phoebe Dahl. And her coach, Jakoba Brink, once a world-class skater herself.
I've seen Miss Brink skate, and I think the world will soon be seeing a great deal of your skating too, Miss Dahl.
Only if she works harder, much harder.
Oh, Uncle Larry, can I stop now? I'm pooped.
Well, that's for Miss Brink to decide.
Come, Bibi. Another half-hour practice.
Uncle Larry, will you take me to the biathlon?
Bibi, you know I have to work this afternoon. Bibi wants to know if you would escort her, Mr. Bond. I would feel better if there were someone with her.
Well, I'd be delighted. I'm staying at the Miramonte.
Great.
Now, how can I help?
You know this man?
Oh, yes. Locke, Colombo's right hand.
Milos Colombo. His name came up in connection with the smuggling operation last year.
That's the least of his offenses. Drugs, white slavery, contract murder. In the Greek underworld, he is known as the Dove. A very sick joke.
Where is this Dove?
Somewhere in Greece, I would guess. Once we were like brothers. Now he hates me. We fought together in the Greek resistance and against the communists. After that, he took a different path. Well,
Thank you for your time, Mr. Christatos.
my pleasure. I leave for Corfu soon. If I get any more information, I will call Ferrara.
is the continuing mutual disarmament talks with NATO. I assume you've all read General Gogol's report. It seems very thorough.
Thank you, Comrade Chairman. I believe I expressed the opinion of everyone present that adoption of NATO proposals does not compromise our defensive position.
Comrade Chairman.
General Orlov.
General Gogol is presumptuous. He speaks for himself and others who cling to timid, outdated, and unrealistic policies. Must I remind you, the committee, of our overwhelming superiority over NATO forces before we give it away?
In East Germany, under my direct command, I have 31 divisions, including 11 tank divisions and another 5 in Czechoslovakia. In support, on the Russian western border are 60 divisions, including 22 tank divisions. In all, a 10-to-1 advantage. American and West German forces can field at most 10 armored divisions. The British maintain only a token force. We have played out a variety of attack strategies on the new Kultsov computer and find that a lightning thrust by 10 armored divisions from the north and by 5 more through Czechoslovakia lead to total victory in 5 days against any possible defense scenario.
This is absolute madness. We know where it will end. NATO will counterattack with nuclear weapons.
Never! The West is decadent and divided. It has no stomach to risk our atomic reprisals. Throughout Europe, daily demonstrations demand unilateral nuclear disarmament.
I see no reason to risk war to satisfy your personal paranoia and thirst for conquest. We must turn our energies to pressing domestic problems.
General Gogol, let me remind
Comrades,
you...
sit down.
I wish to tell
Both
you...
of you. World socialism will be achieved.
Good evening, Mr. Bond.
Good evening.
Well rested? I believe you and Miss Magda have met.
It was a pleasure.
You're too kind.
You don't mind if we start? The souffle can't wait.
At the risk of appearing to be making light dinner conversation, may I ask exactly why I'm here? I mean, after all, you do have the egg.
True, but we don't have all the answers.
Or supposing, for argument's sake, I don't feel like talking.
Well, don't worry, you will. You will.
Let me guess. Thumbscrews and hot coals.
Hardly. We're much more sophisticated than that.
Sodium pentothal?
A bit crude. Very unreliable. We prefer curare with an effective psychedelic compound. Guaranteed results.
But with permanent brain damage.
An unfortunate side effect. One of our specialities. Stuffed sheep's head.
It's odd. But when I'm stared at, I seem to lose my appetite.
Alchemists try to make gold from base metals. Today, we make microchips from silicon, which is common sand, but far better than gold. Now, for several years, we've had a profitable partnership, you as manufacturers, while I acquired and passed on to you industrial information that made you competitive, successful. We are now in the unique position to form an international cartel to control not only production, but distribution of these microchips. There is one obstacle. Silicon Valley. Here's San Francisco. Over 250 plants, employing thousands of scientists, technicians. This is the heartland of electronic production in the United States, which accounts for what, 80% of the world microchip market. I propose to end the domination of Silicon Valley and leave us in control of that market.
What is it you propose?
Project Main Strike, for which each of you will pay me $100 million.
$100 million? Plus half our net income?
Under an exclusive marketing agreement with me.
These are outrageous terms.
Well, perhaps a demonstration would convince you.
I want no part of it, thank you.
As you wish. The rest of our discussion must, of course, be confidential. Would you wait outside?
If you'd like me to, yes. Excuse me. Thank you.
Mayday will provide you with a drink.
This way.
The chief wants you.
We have to report.
Very good. At ease, Sergeant. Pushkin wants the money back.
Don't worry. We've convinced the British that Pushkin is a danger. They will send their best man, James Bond, to eliminate him.
Well, I'm not convinced. Necros can do it.
I've worked with the Russians. My appearance and methods are well known to them. It could jeopardize my comrades struggling for world revolution who depend upon me.
And they depend upon me. Well, so your friend's gonna find a steady supply of arms, huh?
Our basic plan is sound.
Yeah.
Pushkin is, how you say, history.
Well, not yet. Your James Bond hasn't laid a finger on him.
The British are naturally cautious.
Yeah.
An additional inducement will ensure this. For instance, if another agent were eliminated.
Do it.